Now, there is one question I hear from every CEO I work with, and it doesn't matter the industry, it doesn't matter the size of the business, and it also doesn't matter the country where you operate from. Eventually, every CEO asks the same thing. How do I get my team to take ownership? They describe it differently. Some say, my team waits to be told. Others say, nobody really takes initiatives. Some say, I'm the only one who seems to care. But the question underneath is always the same. Why will my team not lead without me? And the answer is almost never what the CEO expects. Because ownership is not a personality trait. You cannot hire for it. You cannot train it into people. And you cannot inspire it with a motivational speech either. Ownership is a system outcome. It either exists because the system creates it, or it does not exist because the system prevents it. So let me show you what I mean. Now, I want you to think about the immune system in your body. A healthy immune system does not wait for disease to show symptoms before fighting it. It identifies threats early. It responds automatically. It protects you without your brain having to consciously intervene. You do not wake up every morning and decide to fight infection. The system does it for you. Now, similarly, your leadership operating system should work in that particular same way. When a problem arises, the right leader should identify it, own it, and respond without the CEO needing to be involved. The system should be the immune response, automatic, distributed, and effective. But in most businesses, the immune system is actually broken. Every threat, every problem, every decision gets escalated to the CEO because the system has no other response mechanism. The CEO becomes the immune system. And just like a body that depends on one organ to fight every infection, the system is fragile, it's slow, and eventually overwhelmed. Now, this is not a people problem. This is a system problem. And when I diagnose a leadership team, I'm looking at the immune system of the business. Can it respond to threats without the CEO? If it cannot, ownership will never exist because the system has never allowed it. Now, here's a distinction that I think is critical as most CEOs miss it. There's actually a difference between delegation and architecture, and most CEOs are doing one when they need to do the other. Delegating means the CEO says, I'll give you this task. The authority stays with the CEO. The leader is executing on behalf of the CEO. If something goes wrong, the leader checks back in. The CEO is going to remain the source of authority. The leader is simply an extension of the CEO, not the independent decision maker. Now, architecture means the system says these decisions belong to you. Here are the boundaries. Here are the escalation criteria. Here is how we track outcomes. The authority belongs to the role, not to the CEO. The leader does not need permission because the system has already given it. And the CEO is freed from the decision entirely. So, delegation creates order takers. Architecture creates owners. And most CEOs are stuck in delegation mode because they've never built the architecture itself. And this actually maps to two gaps in the leadership operating system. Gap 8 of the 15 gaps which I have. the founder bottleneck. Gap 8 is the founder bottleneck, with the CEO is still the operating system. And gap 11, which is accountability erosion, where commitments are made but nobody really tracks whether they are delivered. And both gaps kill ownership, and both are structural, not personal. So let me give you the 3 specific things that kill ownership in a leadership team. And I want you to be honest with yourself about whether any of these exist in your particular business. The first one is authority. Your team does not know what they can decide without checking with you. There's no decision rights framework. There's no defined thresholds. There's no published escalation criteria. In the absence of clarity, people will default to deference. They come to you not because they cannot decide, but because the system never actually told them they could. The second one is invisible accountability. Commitments are made in meetings, but never really tracked. Deadlines pass without consequences. Goals are set quarterly and quietly abandoned by month 2. And when accountability is invisible, ownership is going to evaporate because there is no system holding anyone to their word. And I call this the A in my impact model, which is accountability. Who owns what, by when, measured how. Without it, ownership is aspirational, not architectural. And number 3, reversed consequences. And this is the subtlest and most damaging. In many leadership teams, the consequences are backwards. If a leader makes a decision and it goes well, the CEO takes the credit. If a leader makes a decision and it goes badly, the CEO overrides them publicly. Over time, the leader learns a devastating lesson. Deciding is risky. Not deciding is safe. So they stop deciding. And the CEO wonders why nobody takes ownership. And what you need to do is fix those 3, which is unclear authority, invisible accountability, and reversed consequences. And ownership is going to emerge naturally. Not because you inspired it, but because the system created the conditions for it. And here's something I want you to remember. Accountability is not about catching people. It is about freeing them. And let me close with something I share in every workshop I facilitate because it always lends well. If you take a koi fish and you put a koi fish in a fish bowl, it grows only 2 inches. And if you take the same koi fish, the exact same fish, and put it in a river, it's going to grow 12 inches. The fish did not change, but the environment did. Your leadership team is the koi fish. The talent is there. The capability is there. The desire to lead is there. But if the system constrains them, and if the bowl is too small, if authority is unclear, if accountability is invisible, if consequences are reversed, then they will only perform at the level the system allows. What you need to do is build the river. The fish will grow. And here's something I want to share with you. You do not need more talent. You need less friction. Now, if what I have described sounds like your business, then I have this CEO scorecard which tests both the governance architecture and cultural integrity dimensions where ownership lives. They're only 5 questions, 60 seconds, free. I'm going to leave a link in the description below. Or if you want the full picture, then I press upon you to take the Gap Unlock questionnaire at vijayamistry.com. 12 questions, 3 minutes. I personally review every response and identify which of the 15 gaps are preventing ownership in your business specifically. Again, the link is in the description below. I'm Vijay Mistry. Build the system, free your team. I'll see you in the next one.